swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And spell your first and last name for the record.
James McDonald. JAMES McDonald.
They had an upwards of 5 FBI informants within death row. Mob James being one.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Mr. Paul, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McDonald, it's fair to say that you're here because of a court order. Is that right?
Correct.
That you didn't volunteer to come or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay. But you were instructed by a court that you had to attend.
Yes.
I want to ask you about September 7th, 1996. Were you at Club 662?
Yes.
What was Club 662?
It was a club that SUGE bought, and we operated it. When he opened, I was head of security through the neighborhood. Just a place to go and hang out.
Did the number 662 mean anything?
Well, to the new guys, that was part of our neighborhood, 662,
Okay.
MOB.
Okay, MOB. And when you say MOB, there used to be, before Apple iPhones and those types of things, when you had to have landlines and you pressed numbers, 662, there would be letters under those numbers, and M and O would be under 6. Is that right?
Right.
And B would be under 2?
Yes.
So 662 would be MOB.
Yes.
Okay. When you talk about SUGE, are you talking about SUGE Knight?
Yes, sir.
How did you know SUGE?
He lived in my neighborhood.
And is that in Compton?
Yes.
When you were at Club 662, you said you were head of security.
Yes.
Was somebody by the name of Reggie Wright Jr. there with you?
Not at that time.
No?
No.
When was he with you?
I got out of prison in 1988. SUGE came and got me in 1988. Like 4 days from coming home. Started another company, Fern Hill Records. Then Death Row Records came. Soon as Death Row was launched, Reggie came a few months after that.
Okay, so we're talking about the start of Death Row Records. Reggie wasn't part of Death Row Records initially, but you were.
Yes.
And then SUGE Knight, was he the boss of Death Row Records?
Yes.
Okay. Was SUGE from the same neighborhood?
From the mob?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say SUGE was, he was guilty by association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood. He lived in the neighborhood.
Like, we got a dude named James, and he speak on with Reggie all the time, and he said he was a day one. Definitely wasn't day one. Definitely didn't go to school with us.
We looked at him as somebody from the neighborhood. When he started Death Row and started to recruit us, then yes, he's from the hood.
So I guess there's a difference between living on a certain street versus being from the hood.
Yeah.
And how would you describe that difference?
I look at it, you have 3 different type of friends in the neighborhood. You got gang members, you got gang bangers, and you got men that just guilty by association from living in that area.
Okay. And can you tell me what the difference between a gang member and a gang banger is?
A gang member hangs out. A gang banger handles his business, put in work, do what the gang do.
And what was your role with Death Row?
I was the guy that if something happened, SUGE would have you take care of that. Like Snoop Dogg trial, there was issues up there. I was sent up there to make sure those problems didn't happen again.
And are those problems, and I'm not asking you to get into specifics, but are Are those problems meaning issues with other people who might be gangbanging or might be trying to threaten folks? That type of
Correct. Yes.
and you are somebody that SUGE relied on to be able to protect his roster of music artists and other things like that.
Correct.
I'm gonna tell you this about them niggas over there was at death row, cause I was over there with them. Them niggas let my nigga get killed. They let my nigga get shot up, so fuck them.
My people were there to make sure nothing funny happened at 662. So we were the fall guys. So if something happened, we was the one that's gonna go to jail for it. Prepared to do that. So nobody else was gonna come up there and disrupt it in that manner. But if anybody remember that night, it was so many Metro and everybody there. No, neither side could have did anything. So it was calm, it was peaceful.
So when you say there's so much Metro there, you're talking about so much Metro at Club 662?
It was police all over the place.
Now you said you were there to be on the lookout for something. What were you?
You said I was on the lookout for nothing.
I apologize. You were there. You were there in order to ensure there weren't any problems. Is that fair?
To make sure everything was good.
And because you had heard there might be some issues.
Correct.
And what were the issues that you were concerned about?
Individuals coming up there creating an issue we was having with different sides of from with Crips, period.
Yeah. So you were worried about Crips. Not worried. I'm sorry. You were there providing security to ensure that Crips did not initiate any violence at Club 662.
Not just Crips, that nothing would happen.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. And then when you were there, was Reggie Wright Jr. with you that night at September 7th, 1996 at Club 662?
Yes.
What was Reggie doing there?
Reggie's job was to watch me and make sure I don't get in trouble. Everybody knew how I was. So Reggie, everybody else went to the fights. Reggie was there to watch me with the people that was there.
And I'm guessing that you were not the only person there making sure there wasn't any problems at Club 662.
I'm positive it was 30, 40 cars there.
And again, that was to make sure that there wasn't any violence that occurred at Club 662.
Right.
When at some point that night, do you learn that Tupac or SUGE had been shot?
That night, yes.
Can you tell me how you learned about that?
Well, people was coming back and was explaining that Tupac and SUGE just got shot. Everybody was in a uproar. A lot of people started even trying to get over there on Cobalt. We couldn't leave because we didn't pay to do this here. It wasn't too long after people started coming back, like Haron came back and went to the hospital. The majority of the people was leaving and then coming back because that night they said Tupac was going to be all right. And even SUGE came back with a little bandage on his head. And we thought everything was good. People kept partying.
So, and when SUGE came back, you said he had a bandage on his head, but
Yeah, the dude said he got shot, but he was grazed, a little scar, but nothing penetrated.
Still today, a 45 bullet an inch to my skull.
some people would describe being shot in the head even
Well,
slightly.
you described that, I mean,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
All right. So when you find out, well, let me ask you this: was Reggie with you when you found out that Tupac and SUGE were shot?
Yes.
And did it appear to you in any way that Reggie Wright Jr. was coordinating the murder of Tupac Shakur?
Impossible.
I mean, and I say this because you're aware that there have been some conspiracy theories that Reggie Wright Jr. is responsible for the murder of Tupac.
And it's so not true. His father was implicated, and his father had something to do with it. Reggie Wright used to be a police officer. And here again, I've been knowing Reggie Wright over 50 years. His daddy, as a police officer, patrolling my neighborhood. He done took me to jail many times when I messed up. If Reggie killed Tupac, then Death Row is over with. Tupac was the money source. Tupac was that guy at Death Row. So Reggie would have had a problem if he would have did that. And SUGE, I truly believe SUGE would have opened his mouth if Reggie betrayed him like that. So people say what they want to say.
Stop playing with me. I know too much about you guys that walk around now with your chest all poked out. Because I play both sides. Both sides. You know that.
They had to pay it back.
So once again, my question to you is that the information that I'm asking about is the people that back home, you're saying were eyewitnesses to this?
How could people back home be eyewitnesses to something that happened in Vegas? No, that's not what I'm saying.
The people that were here in Las listen to my question, sir. The people that were here in Las Vegas, you're telling me, were eyewitnesses to what happened and went back home. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, the people that was at 662.
Just answer my question, sir. Yes or no?
I can't
Is it
answer
a
that
yes or no?
without a what you call it. You trying to tell me to say something that you're not going to understand.
The Orlando Anderson narrative was the driver. And once they were inside, it feels like they were able to steer cops in Anderson's direction and away from anyone else.
They had an upwards of 5 FBI informants within death row. Mob James being one.
If you let me explain to you.
No, answer my question.
I'm not answering nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, focus for a second.
I am focused. Very
Focus on this. My question to you is this. You didn't know what happened that night because you weren't there.
I was at 662.
Right. Do you know who was that was there?
I know everybody that was there.
Okay. Like who?
Talk to your lawyer, man. This dude is tripping. I'm not going to explain that. I can't answer that.
Okay. Let me ask you this next question then. You are telling us that people back in Compton, for some reason, knew what happened here in Las Vegas.
A phone conversation. People found out when people left Las Vegas the same night Tupac was shot, went straight back to Compton.
So SUGE can't just do an interview and say it was Orlando Anderson. Give me
He
my
can
check.
do. Everybody understand. Everybody already knows it's Orlando.
Right.
It only takes 3.5 hours to get home.
Sure.
Yes, it wasn't a problem for people to find out what happened.
The Compton Police Department was the first to bring Orlando Anderson's name to the front of the assassination. This affidavit, in support of a search warrant, specifies that Anderson was the likely shooter of Shakur. The shooting was in retaliation for the beating of Anderson at the MGM earlier that evening. Anderson's beating was, in turn, alleged payback for the Lakewood Mall fight that Reggie Wright told Alexander about some time earlier. Brennan testifies Trayvon is the person making the clearest and first claim that Anderson was the shooter. Trayvon is said to be telling people within hours of the shooting that Orlando Anderson is the one who shot Tupac. This is the same Trayvon who had the fight with Anderson in Lakewood, and the same one who instigated the fight at the MGM.
No problem at all.
They got on their phones, they texted people, they let them know what happened here on the night of the shooting?
Yeah. They had walkie-talkies, they had all kinds of phones. They had ways to call people to say whatever. But when people left Las Vegas that same night, after they found out and got in their cars and went home because it was a situation, Pac was shot. Retaliation is a mug. Come on, man. It was for real, for real. All of this was for real.
September 8, 1996, Suge Knight does not go to his home to rest. Instead, he does a strange thing. He leaves town. Trayvon also leaves town. Suge Knight and Trayvon go back to L.A. Their goal, start a cover story and a gang war.
Can you describe, back in the 90s, the tension between the Southside Crips and Death Row Records?
There wasn't no tension between us never because maybe about 2 weeks before that September, in August '96, we was at the House of Blues and they had a concert with the Loonies. SUGE, Tupac, and Snoop pulled up in some Rolls Royces. And they came and said, what's going on here? I said, the concert over with. And he said, let's go up to Paradise. We got up there on Santa Monica and Hyatt, right there in Hancock District in LA. We was never at odds with each other. Me and him as friends since we've been knowing each other since we was 8 years old. I played football with him, and his daddy and uncles was our coach.
Yeah.
I was never at odds with him.
Now, the night of the shooting, did you have a walkie-talkie? A Nextel thing or something like that?
No.
Did Reggie Wright?
I don't know what he had. I don't know how much money he had in his pocket. I don't know what he had on his hip.
But you were the head of securities, but you're telling us you did not have any type
Reggie
of
Wright, right-way security has nothing to do with the gang-banging security, Parus, whatever you want to call us. They had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
The phones that SUGE had for certain individuals, they had the phones. Like the guy that was bodyguard for Tupac that night. Like some of the guys that was at the Tyson fight, like SUGE Knight. Certain individuals had phones. Yes, they did.
Okay, so, all right, I get what you're saying. You're not there, but you're saying other people were.
Yes, I'm saying there was a lot of people there.
A lot of people were there at the shooting that took place.
That was in the entourage, yes.
Let's see. Okay, just one final question. You're here today, and I think the state had asked this question under a subpoena. You're ordered to be here today, right?
Yes.
In terms of that subpoena, for instance, is that's the only reason why you're here is because of that subpoena?
I don't have no other reason to be here.
Everybody already knew it's Orlando.
Right. Yeah. In order for you to get that subpoena, you were served that subpoena back in California?
Yes.
By a police officer?
I don't know. He wasn't in uniform.
Okay. And that order required you to go to a court in California?
I had to go to court and pick the bill.
And then that court in California said you have to show up here.
And in that court, I cussed them out and told them, you can't make me do nothing.
Right.
And in that court, they told me that I would be in attempted court. Me raising my grandkids, I'm not going to put my grandkids in the car and move somewhere so y'all can't find me. So all that running and living a different life, I ain't doing it. So I agreed to come. And like I explained to everybody in here, you ask me something, I'm going to be honest about. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're going to have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not going to talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not going to send him to prison. You are.
So the accusation now is because of the fact that we're trying to ask you questions, you're blaming it on me.
You asking me questions. If I just answer your questions, we going to have a problem in here, a misunderstanding. And you're asking me something that wouldn't be good for him.
Right. And once again, I just want to, look, we're just trying to figure out who shot Tupac. You're telling us that you weren't there to see it. That's all I want to know. At the end of the day, that's it. Right?
Was I in the entourage when Tupac got shot? No.
Okay. Nothing else, right?
I was at 662. I mean, that ain't hard. That's easy math.
No further questions, John.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100.
I'm gonna say this
Fuck
though.
them.
For me personally,
And they
straight
shoulda-
up.
Let me say one.
Go ahead,
and he
fam.
should have never, ever, and this goes out to all the rappers, never, ever let somebody protect you. You let your own folks protect you.
When he got Tupac out of jail, Tupac came straight from the airport to the studio and started working. I mean, he was in there rapping, doing his thing. Everything came to him. Food, girls, jewelry, clothes, whatever. Everything came right there to him. When I met him, he seemed cool. When he got more comfortable, should I say, in death row, then his demeanor, he changed.
Like, we got a dude named James, and he speak on with Reggie all the time, and he said he was a day one. Definitely wasn't day one. Definitely didn't go to school with us. And the reason why a lot of people didn't go to school, because back in those days, it was way more Crips than it was Power Road. You can go and stand on your own, but you have to really be able to stand on your own. And, you know, for James to make all these allegations about he couldn't go to elementary school because the Crips was going to come to school and get him, he was a Crip, number one. Number two, Crips didn't come in my neighborhood and do that type of shit. Everybody stood their own, hung on their own. And, you know, I could see his bitterness because, you know, they lived in a garage with no running water on drugs. But the thing that gets me the most, people want to say something about Pac. Tupac went from the hood. I think Pac did more for my neighborhood than a whole bunch of people in that neighborhood. I hate to be in a situation where you got to bring up old shit. Come on, James, you know the truth. It was in my house. Well, you never been in my house, but outside, me and Buntry, which is my road dog, and you said we got into it before that never happened. Buntry wouldn't go against me for nobody. And I would never let nobody put their motherfucking hands on me. Yeah, that's my dog. He lives always, you know? And, you know, I remember when James was on one of the drunk benzes, and Pac put him on his pockets. And when Pac put him on his pockets, he was like, Buntry, look what he did. And Buntry was like, oh, man, we're going to start calling you Mob Jamie.
And to something he totally wasn't. But he wasn't from the Mob Power Rule. And when he started acting like he was from the hood, now we got a problem. But it wasn't a problem because he was bringing money. You know what I'm saying? And this way, everybody failed to realize and stop looking at the big picture. Like, once he got there and he started hanging and just started seeing how the homies walked, he started walking like that. All of a sudden, he popped up with a mob tattoo. That's something is is something everybody just don't go get because they from the hood. Wait a minute, you ain't been here a day. You ain't from the hood. You ain't spilled no blood. You ain't did no drive-bys. You ain't shoot nobody. You ain't doing nothing. So he didn't earn that. He didn't earn that. When he came with SUGE, I asked SUGE, why do we got that on there? Oh, man, you know he with it. You know, shit, he finna be one of us. I'm outnumbered now because everybody is liking Tupac. Everybody is liking SUGE now. Everybody is, they got SUGE back now. Everybody is saying, okay, I ain't got to rob no more. I ain't got to do this no more. So everybody got SUGE back and more, Mob, you tripping. You drinking too much.
Mob James definitely sounded like a Pac hater a few times in the past, like he didn't like how everyone accepted Pac and showed him love. It's crazy how strong he pushed the Orlando narrative in the past and wasn't even there. His story goes hand in hand with Reggie's narrative, another person that wasn't actually there. We have to question, why would a so-called gangster be comfortable saying anything about a crime if they really sticking to the code? Phil Carson said Reggie and Mob James were informants, and that makes the narrative they pushing together even more questionable. Why is both heads of security in the same location instead of at least one of them being with the entourage? How Mob James talked about Pac in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if he let things play out like it did out of spite. So basically, he was the head of gang security, which was there to handle gang situations allegedly. If that's the case, their whole security system failed. They definitely wasn't on their game, especially if them females was able to pull up on Pac and SUGE. I think Mob James was jealous of Pac, and I don't trust him, because at the end of the day, when you peel back the layers of interviews, true crime documentaries, and conflicting testimonies surrounding Las Vegas in September 1996, the entire security apparatus becomes a glaring question mark. It defies standard security protocol for both primary figures, the heads of security, to be completely detached from the primary vehicle carrying the high-profile principal, leaving Tupac vulnerable without a proper convoy or experienced protection detail. On top of that, the heavy involvement of figures like Mob James and Reggie Wright Jr. in media commentary, true crime podcasts, and detailed breakdowns of the shooting sits uneasily alongside traditional street codes regarding informants and silence. Mob James's admitted historical friction with Tupac adds an emotional element to an already chaotic mix, fueling speculation from fans and analysts about whether personal bias compromised professional duty, whether driven by gross negligence, internal politics, or something more sinister. The security failure in Vegas allowed a tragedy to unfold that changed hip-hop history forever. When the people paid to manage the streets and protect the artists end up spinning conflicting narratives for years to come, it's natural for the public to distrust the official story. Appreciate everybody locking in and tapping into this breakdown. Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. Peace.